Hello, Vinci. Welcome back. This is our comprehension session for today. It's Friday the 26th of February. Can I answer questions based on a familiar text? Let me just shuffle myself in. I'm right on the edge of the screen there. So this is our Katie and the Sunflower. Katie was helping, sorry, no, she wasn't. Grandma was helping Katie plant some seeds in the garden when it started to rain. Oh, good, said Grandma. The rain will make everything grow. But what shall we do now? Said Katie. Let's go to the gallery, said Grandma. You always have fun there. Where was Katie at the beginning of the story? So that's my question for comprehension. You can write that down on your board if you're working alongside me with your board. Where was Katie at the beginning of the story? Well, Katie, it says right at the beginning, Grandma was helping Katie plant some seeds in the garden. Now that's right at the beginning of the story. If you said the art gallery, that's not where they are at the minute. You can see not only in the picture, but in the text that they are in the garden. Who was she with? Who was Katie with at the beginning of the story? Nice, easy one. She was with Grandma. There we are. Next one. When they arrived, Grandma sat down to rest. So Katie went off by herself to look around. The gallery was full of warm, sunny paintings. Katie liked a painting called Sunflowers by Vincent van Gogh. Now, looking at the last one, I've color-coded these. Green is a retrieval question. That means you're going to be able to find the answer in the text. We've now got a red and a yellow red and yellow question here. A red question is, I believe, an inference question, which means you're going to have to read the text and have a think about what the text says and what it makes you think of. So what colors do you think the artists had used in their paintings? So you need to find something to do with paintings, something to do with the colors. So when they arrived, Grandma sat down to rest. So Katie went off by herself to look around. The gallery was full of warm, sunny paintings. That's what this question's talking about. It's not talking about the next painting. It's talking about those warm, sunny paintings. The question then says, what colors do you think they used? So you need to think about the words warm, sunny paintings, and what colors do you think of when you hear the words warm, sunny paintings? So you should have maybe got something like warm, sunny paintings are red, orange, yellow, and maybe even gold. Those are the colors that I think of when we say warm, sunny paintings, which means those are the answers that you would write down. Now, the next one says, why is the word sunflowers written like that? So you need to go and find the word sunflowers. It's here. If you look at the word sunflowers, it is written a little bit different than some of the other words. Why do you think sunflowers is written slightly differently? So the word sunflowers is written slightly differently because it shows you that that is the name of the painting. It's not just what's in the painting. The actual name is Sunflowers by Van Gogh. Now, which that means that it's slightly tilted. We call it italics, and it's slightly tilted to a side to show you that that is the name of something. Now we've got some different questions here. We've got a purple and another green one. So a green is a retrieval question, which means we're going to try and find it in the text. A purple question is one that's really going to have to make you think. The sunflowers looked dry and crunchy, and they were full of seeds. Perhaps I could grow the seeds in the garden, said Katie. She slowly reached out to touch them and found that they were real. What words does the author use to describe the seeds? What words does the author use to describe the seeds? You need to find the word seeds, and then you need to go back and find what words are used to describe it. What was surprising about the sunflowers? So you need to think about what, it doesn't say the word surprised, but you think about what you think the character might be feeling when she found something and it was a surprise to them. I don't want to try and say the answer. It's quite difficult to not say the answer. So what does the author use to describe the seeds? What words? He says, the sunflowers looked dry and crunchy and were full of seeds. So describe the seeds. Now, full of seeds. You could say they were full. The seeds were full. But that's actually telling you how many seeds there were. The actual answer would be dry and crunchy, because that's describing those seeds inside. What was surprising about the sunflowers? Well, the surprising thing about the sunflowers were that they were real. She slowly reached out to touch them and found they were real. Now, it doesn't really say that it was a surprise, but I think you've got to understand that we know that paintings aren't real life behind the paintings like they are in this book. They're just drawn paintings, which means when they found they were real, you can tell by that exclamation mark that it's a surprise. Now, we've got the next part. But Katie knocked the vase. It wobbled and fell right out of the picture, spilling sunflowers and seeds all over the floor. Oh no, said Katie. I'd better clear up this mess before anybody sees. What did the vase do just before it fell out? What did the vase? I think I'd say vase. I don't know why I've been saying vase. What did the vase do just before it fell out of the picture? So just before it fell out and crashed on the floor, what did it do? And the next one says, what words tell us that Katie's worried about what she's done? So just before the vase fell out of the picture, you can see that she knocked the vase, it wobbled and fell right out of the picture. So that's the sentence that it tells us. It fell right out of the picture. There we go. So I've copied that in and I found it. Then I need to do what happened before it. So I need to order my answer. I need to go back and find out that it wobbled. Now, what words tell us that Katie was worried about what she'd done? Well, it's quite an easy one, this one, because we need to use the dialogue because it's the words that she used. And it's going to be, oh no. Now, you could say, I'd better clear this up before anyone sees. But that's reading into it very far about maybe thinking that if she's saying you want to clear it up before anyone sees, then you want to make sure that nobody catches her that she's made a mess. But it's much easier just to be like, oh no. Nobody says, oh no, when it's a good thing. You say, oh no, when it's a bad thing, when she's worried about what she's done. Right. Just then, Katie heard somebody laughing. She looked around, but there was no one there. The laughter was coming from the painting called The Breton Girls Dancing by Paul Gauguin. What's so funny? Said Katie, climbing inside. What words tell us that Katie was alone in the room? And the next one says, why were the Breton girls laughing? So what words tell us that Katie was alone in the room? Just then, Katie heard someone laughing. She looked around, but there was no one else in the room. What words tell us that she was alone in the room? There was no one else in the room. Why were the Breton girls laughing? Why were they laughing? Now, it doesn't tell us in this part. It's something you've got to remember from something earlier that we've read. So why were they laughing? It's because Katie had spilt the sunflowers. So that was something that we didn't see in the text, but it was something earlier that we'd looked at. Katie saw that she was on a farm. The girls, who were called Maisie, Mustet and Mimi, giggled and pointed to the mess in the gallery. "You'll be in trouble if anyone finds out," Mimi said. "Well, I didn't mean to knock over the vase," said Katie. "I don't suppose you could help me clear it up." How many Breton girls are there? Now, not only does the picture help us here, but also the names. It says the girls who were called Maisie, Mustet, and Mimi. That's 3 names, so there were 3 girls. How does the illustrator, that's this person that draws the pictures, how does the illustrator help us to know that Katie's on a farm? How does the illustrator, the person that draws the picture, help us to know that Katie's on a farm? Well, there's 2 things. You could say, well, they've drawn the farm and you can see that there's maybe the fields or something like that. But the best way that you could say is that in the previous bits of the text, everything is on white. Every single bit of information is on white bits of paper from the book. Then we turn to this page, and all of a sudden the words of the book have turned onto this here. What is this? This is a stack of hay, and he's made the background where the words are a stack of hay, and you would usually find hay on a farm. Now, this is the last 2 questions. "We're too tired," said Maisie. "We've been dancing all day," said Mustet. "What about you?" said Katie to Mimi. "Only if I can bring Zazu," said Mimi, picking up her dog. "I suppose that's all right," said Katie. "Let's go." Why were the girls tired? Why were they tired? Another easy retrieval question. We're too tired. We've been dancing all day. That's the answer to the question. They've been dancing all day. What deal does Mimi make with Katie? What deal? Now, a deal is when you shake on something, maybe you agree to something on a condition. So someone might help somebody else if they let them do something. So for this one, it says, "What about you?" said Katie to Mimi. "Only if I can bring my dog, Zazu, or only if I can bring Zazu," said Mimi, picking up her dog. "I suppose that's all right." So the deal that they've made is that Mimi will help only if I can bring Zazu. So she will only help if Zazu will come with her. That's the deal that they made. That's everything for today, Da Vinci. Thank you very much. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.